Okay, so Teresa Ganekshish, thank you for taking the time with me today to speak to our audience a little bit about our journey together. If you would like to start with how we met.
Well, it's been a journey. And so we met many years ago, but we didn't work together as intimately as we do now for a very long time. So I've known about you. We've worked together. I've brought my classes to the Totem Heritage Center. You've enriched all of the students, like understanding and knowing, including myself. But it wasn't until recently, and I would say maybe 3 years ago, that we started working together in a way that was a little bit different. And through that experience, you and I have grown together in a way that I think is admirable, it's notable, and is also can create a model for other people who have the ambition to do the kind of work that we're doing. Yeah.
So speaking of the Totem Heritage Center, I do remember that at the time that you were bringing those classes to us, there was a hat in the display case. Would you like to tell me about that hat?
Yeah, that was a hat that I created maybe 20 years ago. And I had never seen color woven into a hat before. I'd seen it painted, I'd seen design, but I had never seen anything that had been like a piece of cedar dyed and woven into a hat. And so I thought I'd just give it a shot and see how it worked out. And so I did it, and it was fun, and other people were excited about it. And so it ended up being a purchase for um, the Totem Heritage Center. But it's still it's one of those pieces that I hope to get back. It's like it's those pieces that you hope somehow your kids will get their hands on when they're older.
So what is your favorite memory of us working together? Let's first start with at the museum.
Oh no, we can go on and on this one. Uh, for me, I feel like when we go to the museum, and now we're talking about when we were at the Totem Heritage Center.
hmm hmm
I feel like you have a really strong lead, and for me, it's important for me to sit back and observe what that looks like and feels like as an Indigenous woman and as a person who doesn't just come from this land, but from a different land, and to know that people who are sharing knowledge in ways that are accurate, like that's important to me, but that have passion and care and love in what it is that they're doing, that's really important to me. So my experience with you from the very beginning was, I can't wait to spend more time with this person. I'd like to learn more about what she knows, what she wants to learn more about, how can I facilitate that, and um, and also just gratitude that you had the knowledge you already had and that you were so generous with it with our students.
So later, I started working with you as a cultural educator and a knowledge bearer. What would you have to say about our cultural enrichments that we bring into the classroom?
But we've had so much fun. I mean, it's meaningful, and we're teaching teachers. That's the biggest part. We're teaching teachers. It's reaching our students. We are enjoying our time together. We teach each other, and that I would say for the most part that our families are feeling it, because I go to soccer games and I go to the grocery store and I go to all different places within our community, and I hear it and I feel it, and people are not afraid to even come up, even through COVID, to come up and say thank you. How ist im Deutschen? Like there's nobody who is afraid to say thank you for what you're doing for our community, right? Letting our children get to experience what we should already be learning within the school district. And so for me, that's one of my biggest takeaways.
It's beautiful. We always work hard to incorporate tribal values into our lessons. What are a few of those values that you would like to highlight?
All of them.
All of them, of course, but if you had to pick one today to be a lesson.
Okay, so I'm going to do one. I'll do three.
Okay.
Respect for self, respect for elders, and respect for others. I think that's what it is. Sense of humor, I think, is huge, because if we don't have a sense of humor, then we get really bogged down on things that that make us feel uncomfortable with ourselves, ugly about ourselves, and maybe not best about how our families are operating. And when you have a sense of humor, it ends up making things lighter, and it also gives us the opportunity to relate to one another on a different platform. And I think that's important. Sense of humor is really big. Respect that, and I feel like I'm going to word it wrong, and that's okay, is that we are, the fourth one, because you're only speaking for three, but the fourth one is that we're stewards of the land, air, and the sea. And I think that's huge, because no matter where you come from, it doesn't matter if you're Haida, Tlingit, or Tsimshian, if you live on this land, which is Tlingit land, we all want to make sure that we're taking care of it. We all want to make sure that we are being mindful, being careful, supporting our industries, because the industries that support the economic situation that we have here, you have to make sure that we're being careful with that. So for me, as a cultural person, I feel like it's important to do that, but also I feel like we can extend that to other non-native people who are here, and let them know that they can still use those values in their practices and become more close to the native community, and we can build those bridges with each other.
How do you feel that the activities we are engaging in impacts cultural survival?
You and I think it's tremendous. I think that this is groundbreaking, and I think we're also, it's like ground up work that we're doing. I do think that the work that we're doing is meaningful, and I know that it's meaningful because my emails are constantly blowing up. They want more of you and I in the classroom. That makes me feel excited about what it is that we're doing. And it makes me feel like, for the first time, we've got educators who understand how important it is for them to have cultural enrichment or some kind of presence in their classroom. And there's much more work to be done. But if this is just where we're starting, and this is just what we're doing right now, then let's give it to them. And I think that will bring teachers on their own path. I think it will allow for them to see how impactful it is, and also that there is a stronger need for more enrichment, and um, and also that we need to have cultural enrichment as a piece of our foundation as a district, not just as a supplement.
Absolutely. Well, Teresa, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. I know that myself, your students, your peers, and everyone around you will appreciate your words today. So, Ganekshish, thank you.